Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to another YouTube video on the channel. And today guys, here we are to do our AFL 2022 Finals Week 1 preview. So in today's video, I'm going to be looking at every game of the Finals AFL 2022 for Week 1, going over my predictions and previewing it. But now there are only 8 teams left in the competition: Brisbane, Richmond, Geelong, Collingwood, Fremantle, Western Bulldogs, Melbourne and Sydney. And they are all going for one premiership flag. So in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and preview every game of the Finals Week 1. So let's go ahead, hop right into things. Alright, so the first game is on the Thursday night to, of course, kick off the month. September, Thursday, the 1st of September. And it is going to be Brisbane versus Richmond. A massive elimination final at the Gabba. 6th versus 7th at the Gabba Thursday night footy. Thursday night footy returns. I love Thursday night footy. It just makes the week feel a lot shorter than what it is. Something to be excited for on a Thursday, I guess. But yeah, Thursday night footy, really exciting. Love Thursday night footy. And it is Brisbane versus Richmond, a massive elimination final at the Gabba. These two teams have played each other a lot in the past few years. And this is going to be another belter of a contest. Brisbane, they've been shaky throughout the season. They haven't really been able to pick times. And round 23 versus Melbourne at the Gabba was a complete horror show. They'd love to forget that. But Richmond, oh boy, have they been in some form. 109 versus Port Adelaide, 128 versus Hawthorn, and 141 versus Essendon. Those are some really good scores and will be pretty tough to beat if they can score anywhere there. If Richmond score over 100, they'll win. I reckon if they even score over 80, they'll win. I think it's going to be a really exciting contest. Look, Richmond are the favourites. I think they rightfully so are favourites in this game as well, because I think they'll win, and I think they will win by 12 points for the opening game. So yeah, Richmond by 12. Alright, so the second game of the final series is on Friday night between Melbourne and Sydney at the MCG. Friday, 2nd of September. Should be an exciting game. Of course, the first qualifying final, 2nd versus 3rd. Should be an absolute ripping game of footy. Of course, last time those two teams played, Sydney managed to produce a massive upset and win by 12 in the end. But it is a finals. It is a final. Melbourne seem to be a very different side in finals. But these two teams have been very good over the course of the year. Sydney, they've had a very good back end to the year. Melbourne, they had a very good start to the year. But Melbourne last week Melbourne in round 23, should I say, were very good against Brisbane. They managed to win and smash them as well at the Gabba deck. And Sydney last week, round 23, played St Kilda and got the job done. They didn't do it in a convincing manner, but all they did was go out there and get the 4 points. And penultimately in there, that's all that matters. Especially in finals time, 1 point win is the same as an 80-point win, because you just got to move on to the next week, which is exactly what these two teams are looking to do, move through to a home prelim final. I think this is going to be a cracking game on Friday night, 2nd versus 3rd. I do feel like this is probably the game that could go either way. There is another game that I think could go either way, but look, I'm going to say Melbourne. Melbourne by 15 for me. I just think they're the stronger side at the MCG. If it was the SCG, probably would have tipped Sydney, but because of the MCG, Melbourne are favourites. Melbourne, for me, are just the better side. I think they'll be a bit more classy over Sydney. And look, they've been classy the last couple of years, 2021 and 2022 Melbourne, and I feel like they'll be giving the flag a genuine threat and knock out a genuine flag contender. However, Sydney will be just through to a semi at the SCG. Now to Geelong and Collingwood, which I think is the other game that could be a 50-50 in the finals. Collingwood, they just keep on surprising. You really don't know when they're going to win or lose. They managed to find wins, like, a lot. People don't know when they're coming, like when they're going to be off or on Collingwood. But they're a good side. They've made themselves a good side this year. They somehow, and I'm using this word or term somehow, because that's kind of the word that would describe them this year. Somehow. Collingwood have somehow done this. And they've somehow got into the top 4, have Collingwood, which is an amazing achievement, seeing that seeing that people had them in the bottom 4, or in that bottom, 6th or something like that. I had them in 14th, and there they are in 4th. So they've done a good job. They've gone past a lot of people's expectations. And the Cats, minor premiership winners, flag favourites. This is going to be a juicy matchup at the MCG Saturday twilight footy. I reckon this one can go either way because, again, the term of Collingwood is somehow they just find a way to keep on winning. They somehow do it, Collingwood. The Cats, been very classy this year. I reckon we've got a very good matchup here, but I have said, safe option, Cats by 11. Alright, now to the final game of finals week 1. Saturday night, latest start at Optus Stadium between Fremantle and the Western Bulldogs. 5th versus 8th, the second elimination final. And apparently wet weather, which is going to make this game a good game because Fremantle don't play well in the wet. But yeah, I reckon the wet weather can make this game a little bit more interesting than what we thought we were going to have at the beginning, because I think the pretty obvious tip was Fremantle, and I have still tipped Fremantle, just so you know. But look, Fremantle, they've been a great side all year. Very unlucky to miss out on the top 4, in my opinion. I think they probably did deserve the top 4, but just with how jam-packed that top 6 was, or second to 6th, sorry, because the Cats were clear. 2nd to 6th, which is Melbourne, Fremantle, Collingwood, Sydney, and Brisbane. It was all very tight. There was like a game between them in the end to separate them. So it was all very tight. And again, can 6 teams go into 4? No, they can't. So, of course, there's going to be 2 unlucky teams that found themselves on the outer and elimination final, and that is how Fremantle and Brisbane are. But I still feel like Fremantle are pretty classy, pretty good side. The Dogs, on the other hand, they haven't had a great season. And to be completely honest, I think out of Carlton or the Dogs, who deserve to be in the 8, probably Carlton. I really did feel like they showed fight back towards the end of the year. But yeah, the Dogs, they need to win this game. Look, 2016 Dogs, 2021 Dogs, remember? 5th to Grand Final 2021, 7th to Grand Final win in 2016. It is more than possible for the Dogs, but they're going to have to overcome a tough Fremantle side. Now, of course, pretty much most of the Dogs list does have finals experience, meanwhile Fremantle not really. But I still think just from a spot where Fremantle are, they're 5th, the Dogs are 8th, I just think Fremantle will be too strong and will win this game by 23 points. Alright, well there we go. That is how I see the AFL 2022 Finals Week 1 going. I have Richmond beating Brisbane by 12 points, Melbourne beating Sydney by 15 points, the Cats beating the Pies by 11, and the Dockers beating the Dogs by 23. I think, to be completely honest, they're pretty much the straightforward tips. I think we're going to have some close games, but I feel like there is a pretty clear favourite per one. Yes, upsets are possible. We all do know that. I feel like if there was to be an upset to strike in any game, it'd be Melbourne, Sydney, or Geelong and Collingwood. I feel like the 2 elimination finals are clear, but again, you do always have to have in the back of your mind that the upset can most certainly happen. I think we have some very juicy matchups here. Of course, the winner of the elimination final goes through to the semi-final. The loser of the qualifying final goes through to a home semi-final against the winner of the elimination final. And then the winner of the qualifying final goes through to a home preliminary final. And then if they win that home preliminary final, then they go through the grand final. So there is a lot left on for this season. 8 teams remain, 1 team will win, and here is the start of it. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you guys never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Bye everyone, Flaming Footy out.